Hello, my name's Julie Herbert. I'm the State Foster Care Coordinator for RSPCA Queensland. A very big welcome to you all. Thank you all so much for wanting to join our foster care program and for helping animals in need. It's so appreciated at any time of the year, but at the moment in our crisis point, we're so in need of our foster carers. So thank you all so much. First of all, why do some animals need to go into foster? Quite often we have little puppies and kittens that just need to go out into foster until they reach the correct age or weight for desex and to go up for adoption. We also have a baby kitten foster care program. These guys require specialist care, usually bottle feeding, usually around the clock monitoring. So our foster carers do specialist training for that. We also have our canine mums and bubs and our feline mums and bubs. The best place is a home environment for our nursing mothers. We also have animals that are going through a medical condition, and it could be an illness or an injury where they need to recuperate in a loving home. We also have animals with behavioural issues, like this guy here that's very much a mouther. So what we need is our foster parents to work on those behaviours and to get them to the point where they can safely go into an adoption family. We also have animals that need to lose weight, animals that need to gain weight. Sometimes we just run out of space. And we also have our very important animals, which are our black tags. These are our cruelty and neglect cases that are brought in by our inspectors, and they need to be in our care until generally a court case is resolved. At the moment, with the corona pandemic, we do have to be very mindful that if we do go into lockdown, we will need to get many animals out into care as quickly as possible. That's why it's so important that we have ready and available foster carers on our books, ready to rock and roll. Our aims as foster parents. First of all, we need to make sure our animals remain healthy. So if they're due a vet return, they need to come in for that vet return. If they're due a worming treatment or a flea treatment on a certain date, foster carers need to make sure that they're given at those times. We need to make sure that the animals are safe and secure, making sure that they're not escaping the home, making sure that they are in a very safe environment. That's one of our priorities. We want the animals to be confident and social as much as possible. Some animals will be a work in progress, but always we're doing our very best to push them forward with their confidence and their socialisation. Well-mannered. Just remember, we're not preparing these animals for ourselves. We're preparing them for who we call as average Joe pet owner. What does average Joe pet owner want in a pet? And they're the sort of behaviours that we need to encourage with our foster animals, because we want them to be adopted and we want them to go on and have a very happy life for a very, very long time in their new families. Okay, your most important documents will be your foster carer manuals. In here, there's a huge amount of information that you need to go through before you take your first foster animal. In the first few pages of your foster manual, you will find our opening hours, our email addresses, our landlines and our mobiles. That's how you get in contact with us about your foster animal. We can only be there and be available to you if you contact us and tell us that there's a problem or tell us that you need some extra help. We have plenty of ways of contacting us. Please do so. In your first few pages of your manual, you'll also find emergency life-threatening illness or injury protocols. What to do in an emergency. Who do you call? Where do you take the animal? It's very important that you familiarise yourself with these things before you actually have your foster animal in your home. What to do about getting in to see a vet, getting a vaccination. Again, there's protocols and processes in place. You need to avail yourself of the foster manual, read it thoroughly, make sure you know what you've got to do. And also, if your animal does become lost and found, there's a priority call line that you contact and we get your animal on our what we call Platinum Pet Detect service. Please remember, felines are indoors only. The only time they leave your home is in a travel crate on their way back to the shelter. Dogs must not get over, through or under your fences, so they need to be prioritised to make sure that they're secure. Please remember, puppies, when they're under 4 months of age, that these little guys can't leave your yard. They can't be taken out for a walk. The only time they leave your yard is when they're tucked safely underneath your arm or in a travel crate coming back to the shelter. When you collect your foster animal, you will receive information which will tell you all about your foster care animal. It will tell you on the back all the healthcare treatments that are going to be required. This document needs to go with your foster animal. Put it on your fridge. Make sure that you can have a look at it and make sure that all the healthcare treatments get done when they're supposed to be done. In your manuals, there'll be information about how to safely transport your animals, what diet to feed your animals. There's feeding charts for your dogs. In your manuals, there's instructions for what sort of behaviours we think are appropriate or wanted, and behaviours that we would prefer to be unwanted or less inclined to be encouraged in your foster animals. There's important information about your animal's health. What happens when you come across a diarrhea, for example? What happens when you discover a tick on your foster animal? All the instructions are there. You just need to make sure that you go through your manuals. When it comes time to return your animal, if they're returning for a de-sex surgery, the little guys, the little puppies and kittens under 4 months of age, they need to have a small meal of their normal diet at 6:30 in the morning, and then nothing until they have their surgery. The adults, they can be fed before midnight the night before of their surgery. Puppies return for de-sex. The littlest breeds come back at 12 weeks. The larger breed puppies come back at 8 weeks. Kittens have to be over 1 kilo. As soon as they hit that kilo mark, it's time to book them in for a de-sex surgery. That's it in a nutshell, guys, but there is no substitute for going through your manuals, reading everything you can, and answering our quiz. By the time you get through the quiz and answer all the questions that we need, we'll be able to line you up with a suitable animal for your home environment. Thank you so much for all of your assistance, and we hope you have many, many years of fostering for the RSPCA.